Good morning, guys, and welcome back to Dusting Off Warlord, Saga of the Storm. Featuring Lord Belasco, the Deverenian noble uncommon warlord from Into the Accordlands. Um, yeah, kind of just continuing on, taking a look at these uncommon additions to the warlord stable. Belasco actually, I don't know if I see when I'm looking at him, I think Roan is probably better, and I think Wasan is just he's fun, so yeah. But Belasco, this guy looks really freaking solid. For several different reasons. Belasco he's level 4, he's multi-class, he's a wizard fighter, just a classic dev combination. He's a human noble. He actually has some pretty solid stats. +8, +4 for his melee strikes. Again, I need to. Where is he? Where is this guy? I need to stop bringing this up, but again, Gorthos is a pure fighter, and he's got a +5 and a +0. Yes, he has his ability. You probably don't want to be using it on him. So yeah, Belasco, +8, +4 for his melee strikes. He's got 15 armor class, +8 skill. He does only have 3 hit points, but I mean, it's fine. And this is such a cool thing that he has. He has True Strike, okay? This character strikes may not be canceled or redirected. That is such an it's not gonna come up, I think, too terribly often. But when it's important, oh good lord, is this important. I don't really have any desire to play was it Croc Stonejaw, I think is what his name is. But apparently everybody else loves him, and I can just see this guy being kind of an asshole in that matchup. So yeah, you can. They can't stealth your strikes. Other devs can't redirect things. I don't know how much there is that in this set. I know I Have Your Back is in this set, and yeah, it doesn't work on Lord Belasco. But if that wasn't enough, he also has this limited order. Move target equal or lower level character forward or backward 1 rank. This move may not create an illegal rank. This is basically the spell Teleport that he has built into him. And in fact, if you look at his artwork, that is very similar artwork to what we see on the Teleport spell. So pretty sure that's just what that is. There are so many useful applications for this ability. I mean, one, you can use it just very straightforward. Move your guys forward. Move himself forward and punch things, because we are going to be doing that with this deck. Move their guys around. Move, if they have, this would only work on level 4 warlords, but if they have a level 4 warlord who doesn't want to come to the front, you can harpoon them. There's no dice involved. It's just, are you my level or lower? Then you're either moving forward or moving backwards, as long as it's not making an illegal rank. So, now, the fact that it can't create an illegal rank is something that can be used to protect yourself against him. In the case of, say, you're playing a level 4, multi-class warlord, and you don't want him harpooning you, just leave one guy behind you, and he can't get you with that. So, yeah, yeah. So, where else was I going with this? I just think it's an awesome ability. All this put together, the total package on this guy, the stats, the classes, the trait, the order, all of this guy this guy is so freaking cool. So. We're gonna be starting him, and I understand this is not terribly creative, and I try not to just how do I even say this? Like, I do like to try new things. This is the exact opposite of new thing. We're starting 3 Gene Court Initiates. I could not believe that they brought this guy back. This guy is freaking nuts. Okay. Although I think maybe this guy got nerfed. I can't really remember. His stats are not great. They're not awful. He only has 11 armor class, whatever. Death React. The next strike targeting your character this turn is a critical failure. Such an awesome ability. I want to say there was a time, and again, I could be getting this wrong, where this didn't have a duration. So if they didn't get rid of it, it stuck around basically till they attempted to strike you. But yeah, so that's awesome. 3 copies of that guy. This could easily be something else. And honestly, maybe this should be something else. But he's just, he's such a cool character. Let me phrase it. He's such an asshole, okay? So yeah, we like that. And then behind him, just 2 copies of Squire Fendrick. This guy came out in 4th edition, and I think most of my 4th edition decks did run this guy. Just very solid. Limited order, spend a character in this rank, move forward 1 rank. If Squire Frederick moves, he may perform a melee strike. So he can spend himself, and it's almost like he has a kind of a pseudo bull rush effect built into him. Or you can spend somebody else, like this one Fedric can spend, or can move the second one forward. He'll make a strike, but he's also ready, so then he can spend to attack. That usually I have found a lot of times he has a big target on his head when that happens, but I mean, it's only a +3 strike. His armor class of 14 is fairly good. So, yeah, now I very could see myself starting Ambitious Squire instead. We're running 3 of them in the deck. I think this guy's pretty awesome. Very much reminds me of Reliant Guard. I think I mentioned that when I was covering the little baby Belasco deck that I got from someone who went to Gen Con. This actually interacts with Fendrick in a really cool way, because Fendrick can spend himself to move forward. In between 2 Ambitious Squires, all of a sudden they now have +4 attack and 14 armor class. Really high stats for a level 1. And it gives them a choice. Are you going to kill one of the squires, go after one of them, because the other one's still there, he's still got that +4 strike, or are you going to try to kill the Fendrick and get rid of the bonus on both of them, but he's already spent. So it's like, it's choices. So these guys are pretty cool. I do like them. So yeah, running 3 of those. Oh, and then again, I mentioned this, I believe, in the last episode. I think this one I should only have one other deck left to do, one other Warlord. I think I have Anita Yasar still. We've got 2 copies of Isadran Kennel Master. Now this is much less impressive here because I don't really think I have any way to buff this guy. Not really. But, I mean, just Belasco moving one of these forward, I mean, it's probably going to die because it's only got 10 armor class, and I also don't think I have a way of buffing his armor class. These, I think, are much more impressive in something that raises their stats, but he's got 3 strikes, and so, yeah, I think that's pretty awesome. And then the kind of final fighting characters here, we've got 3 copies of Ged Dosset, 2 copies of Ged Bane, and 1 copy of Blitzer. Now, this probably should be 3 copies of Ged Bane, but I only own 2 at the moment, and yeah, I don't really play devs too much. I'm probably not going to hunt those down. Maybe I will, I don't know. It depends. Ged Dosset, he is a reprint. I believe he was around sometime in Epic Edition. His stats are pretty good, especially his hit points. He's got 3 hit points, which is freakishly awesome. He's planar. Now, I am excited to play this. I freaking hate the planar trait, okay? And I don't play it enough. And the amount of times I just cannot roll even numbers. It's like impressively bad, like how I just can't do it. And so I'm looking forward to doing that to other people. It's going to be freaking glorious. So he's got a limited react. After target character within 1 rank attacks, if that character's ATK is lower than Dosset's level, stun the target. Several things about this. They have to be making an attack. It specifically says attack. It doesn't say a melee strike. So I believe this would be after they perform all of their strikes, if memory serves. And yeah, and their attack has to be lower than his level, which is 4, so they have to have +3 attack or lower, which there's not a terribly large amount of things that's going to be super valuable on, but whatever. But it stuns them, so one of the ways that you can help to make this more, the odds of this happening better are with Ged Bane. This guy, I believe, is brand new to this set. He's level 4, he's a Storm Wraith, he's a Paladin. He's got 3 +2s with lightning damage, which +2 is not very good, but that's fine. He's got 8 armor class. He is also planar. Wait a minute, huh? I'm just now noticing this. So I think... So planar didn't used to be planar. Planar used to be astral and ethereal. And basically, astral, they missed you if it was... I believe astral was they missed you if it was even, and ethereal missed you if it was odd. I could be getting that inverted. It's been such a long time. But I want to say... So Ged Bane's got 8 armor class, but he's planar. I want to say one of the ways that... One of the little... And again, this could be inaccurate. I'm shooting from the hip here. I want to say back in the day, one of the ways they helped you remember what they needed to roll to hit you was if you needed an even number to hit you, your armor class was odd, and vice versa. I think the elves were ethereal, and so you needed odds to hit them, but I believe they had even armor class, like the Death Knight. I think his name is Zephyros, because I think he has 6 armor class, and I think you have to roll an odd number to hit him. Or maybe you have to roll an even number. I don't know what I'm talking about. That's just interesting. Yeah, oh man, it's ranting. Now, Ged Bane only has... His skill is really bad at +2. +2 for 4th level fighter is not very good. That's like Lady Tornhawk right there. He's also only got 2 hit points, which... I would have been so much better with 3. But he's also a planer, and he's got this interesting little trait. Opposing lower level characters within one rank suffer a -2 attack and armor class. So, if you've got a Get Bane there, their attack, is going to drop by 2, and that may put them in range for Get Dosset to stun them. In addition, he lowers their armor class, which helps his strikes, functionally speaking, against lower level guys. His strikes are going to be +4s. Now, it is unfortunate that against a lot of Warlords, he's only going to be having +2s, which is not very good, but whatever. And then limited order, move forward 1 rank. So pretty much, even though he's level 4, this guy makes it to the front pretty fast, even without input from Belasco. You play him, he orders to rank 3, he maneuvers to rank 2, next turn he orders to rank 1, he's ready to strike. So that's pretty freaking awesome. You could get him into rank 1 on turn 1 just with Belasco's ability, but he'd be spent. So yeah, it saves you an action in case you win initiative next turn. And then Blitzer. Man, I love me some freaking Blitzer. He's got 2 +6s. He's got 16 armor class, 3 hit points. He does extra wounds, and he punches you from far away. It's freaking awesome. This, I believe, is the only Ranger that they kept reprinting. Because there's 4 of them, and I think he's the only one. I think he may have been the best one. I want to say one of them kills you if you're stunned, if memory serves. I can't remember. Because the only one I really remember is Blitzer, and Blitzer's awesome. And he's a legal candidate for Belasco's ability to, again, because he can't equip items, sometimes getting this guy to the front quickly can be kind of annoying, so whatever. And then everybody else in this deck is mostly support. We've got 3 Tamar the Protectors. Again, even though it's probably... we play for fun, and I'm a sad, pathetic little man. I like my Warlords going to the front rank, so we're going to do that with Belasco. He's going there. Now, he doesn't need to, but that's what he's going to do, because I have fun doing that. So, Tamar is there to help give him some extra armor class and skill. We've got 2 copies of Sister Kirin. She's a seer. She has a limited order. Your target higher level character, Deverenian character, journeys. So this will hit all the fighting guys except for the Blitzer, which is unfortunate. Just between these 2 cards, just Belasco and the 2 copies of Kirin, he really almost reminds me of Talon Zin when you give him a whirling swamp spear. I know I've referenced that before because it's really cool when you see him just dancing around like that. Like he punches, he scoots back, he shoots, he scoots forward, he punches again, he scoots back. Oh, it's so cool. So this really feels like you might be able to get a very similar effect to that. And because we are doing so much moving. We also, just like with Anakeona, we have 2 copies of Master Dresden. These are actually the same 2 copies. I'm not going to go hunt down multiple playsets of this. I don't even own a single full playset at the time of this recording. 2 is just fine. And again, if we find these guys to be problematic, I'm probably just going to drop them and replace them with something else. So, and then finally, rounding it out, we do have 1 copy of Kingslayer, the Dev Dragon, who is encumbered and unarmed, and his stats are okay. He can flap his wings once per turn. Does he have wings? I can't even tell unless if he has wings or not. Once per turn, he moves forward or backward. But then once per turn, he has a limited order. Target an encumbered character within 1 rank. Spend or ready the target. This is one of the reasons why I want Belasco to go to the front, because I'm just going to give him a bunch of crap and hopefully get multiple uses out of him. I don't know if it's going to work, but it's going to be pretty cool. Now, I think that this, normally level 5, sometimes I'm kind of questionable about playing. I think between all those fighting level 4s and then the fact that Sister Kirin does not need to spend to use her ability, I can maneuver her back into rank 4, and that way I have a rank 5 ready to go. I don't know. I don't believe it's going to be a problem, but whatever. And then, so I think I took that Gen Con deck apart, but a large amount of it, I think, is actually still in here, because we've got 3 copies of Eager Blade. This card, I think, is really, really cool with Belasco. Again, just Belasco, it just seems like so much fun to be moving around and getting advantage on your strikes and stuff like that. I guess it's only your melee strikes, but whatever. And we got 3 copies of those, because I really want that on him to try to just, make sure that his attacking ability is... I want him to be able to stick his strikes. It is also interesting that the extra copies you can throw onto these Storm Wraiths... Ged Bane probably gets the most out of it, because it's really not difficult. You can move him back with Belasco and then move himself forward, and that way he's got advantage. Even if he's not swinging at, lower level characters, 3+4s with advantage, I mean, that seems fairly choppy to me. Maybe not for a maybe not for like a freak. Like, you know, I am Hotel and is like, what are you talking about? That's not choppy at all, you scrub. But yeah, so 3 copies of that. Everything else we're only going to be running a single copy of. We've got a spell blocker shield for +2 armor class and magic resistance, a Bruntor's helm for the extra hit points. Really, I should probably be running... I probably should not be running 3 Eager Blades. I should probably only be running 1, and I should be running... In place of the 2 extra blades, I should probably run 2 more Bruntor's Helms, because Gedbane getting up to 3 hit points, that's good. You know what's even better is Ged Dosset getting up to 4. Again, if you guys don't know how freaking infuriating it could be to have to try to roll even numbers, again, going back to my Ephraim deck, the only, really, at this point, I think the Shock Sabers are good, also because they're giving you armor class. I haven't run into anybody playing Planar yet, but the entire reason I included that was because the Planar trait so freaking traumatized me, okay? And so now, imagine having to go after one of these Dossets, and he's got 4 hit points, and it's like, oh, yeah, roll even 4 times, asshole, yeah. Oh, it's good. It would be beautiful. And if it were me trying to do it, he's functionally invincible at that point, so just give up and quit. Then we've got a Cloak of Flight for even more movement. It gives your spells the Arcane trait. I don't think that matters at all at the moment. But you spend it to Journey, and it gives you +2 armor class. What is not to love with that? One of the things, and again, we're mostly just casual players, I haven't really seen anybody Ubering up at this point. I want to say I think one of the games against Correct, I think he did become a cover. I think he did get 3 items on, but for the most part, like, it's not, I haven't seen that too terribly often. But I want Belasco to be encumbered so that the dragon can ready him. So yeah, just lots of items for him. We got a copy of Rock Arm for potentially doing an extra wound, a little bit of attack. And then, ooh, this was a cool card out of the new set, a Unicorn of Thune. So this gives you skill, which I don't think terribly matters in here. I guess it would help him resist things, but whatever. You spend it to Journey, but it's got this really cool ability. Spend Unicorn of Thune and banish 2 action cards from your discard pile. Remove a wound from this character. So because he's going to go to the front, he's probably going to start taking some damage. I do like this. I probably should be running Medical Kit in here as well, like comboing it with this. Because if you can remove 2 wounds from yourself, Medical Kit for the most part, a lot of times I don't like it very much because it usually, on characters that go to the front, in my experience, it usually doesn't really keep you alive. It just stops you from dying for like an action or 2, and that's usually the best you get. But it's different if you're removing 2 wounds, because all of a sudden now, if you can get your stats high enough, you know, it might not be, you know, oh, I make a medicine check and then he just has to punch me one more time. You might stay alive for quite a bit with those. So maybe this next card, I have 1 copy of Hunting Staff. This is the only thing that's not going on Belasco. This is going on probably on one of the other wizards, just to help move my guys forward and start, you know, make the march up to the front lines. This could be a Medical Kit. I don't know. This did really, really well for me with a Memoriam, so even in just the starter, it did amazing for me. So, and that steed required action, so the rest is just a bunch of actions. Now, again, I mentioned that we don't see people Ubering up in my meta at the moment, but what I have noticed is there's usually just a random, honestly, it's usually one of those regalias, one of the armors, where it's like, I just need to break that, or it's a Breastplate of Power. Breastplate of Power has also been a dick card. And so I've got 2 copies of Crush just because I don't need to break all the items. I just need to get rid of that, especially the items that force multiply. Oh yeah, get rid of those. So we got 2 copies of Crush to, you know, to help with that. And then we've got 2 copies of Disperse. I don't really think I would be playing this in here, except for the fact that I have all those extra wizards, and their skills are not terrible. So, you know, Dresden's got the same skill as Belasco does at +8. I think the dragon might be better. No, dragon's the same, it's got +8. I think the Tamars have +7, so it's not terribly different. This is just kind of, very much reminds me of Premonition and Precognition. To spend rank, it's level 2. After a target opposing character pays the cost of an action card, the target must succeed with the will save, DC 10 plus his character skill, or the action is cancelled. So DC 18 or DC 17. Potentially interesting that if they're, where is it? Yeah, if Belasco is the one playing that, which I usually don't want him to do, and he has the Unicorn of Thune on, it would add 2 to the DC. Probably not worth it because it's a spend react, but whatever. Yeah, so just 2 copies of that. I can see myself at some point now. I don't like the color blue in Magic: The Gathering. I think it's like the worst thing ever. I understand that I'm not good at Magic either. Like, yeah, if I suck at Warlord, I'm even worse at Magic. But there is nothing more. There's a meme. I'll put a picture here if I can find it of the white player goes, I swords to plowshares your creature, and his opponent goes, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. And then the red guy goes, I lightning bolt your creature, and the other player goes, oh, that's pretty good. And then the other guy goes, he's playing green, he goes, my creature fights your creature, and he goes, oh, that's pretty good. And the black player goes, I terror it. Or actually, do people even play terror anymore? Is it murder or dark? No, dark banishing is a little card too. I play a removal card like that, and it kills your guy, and the opponent's like, yeah, that's pretty good. And the blue guy goes, I kill your creature. The guy table, he's like, fuck you. It's yeah, I'm one of those people. But I can see myself. I have not. I don't believe I've covered this. I think I've mentioned it at some point. One of the decks that I had that was a very fascinating, at least for me, it was a fascinating concept, was Inquisitor Demeter as basically a control and advantage warlord. And so in that deck, I had a bunch of seers, and I was playing 3 copies of Premonition, 3 copies of Precognition. I had all of the cancel. I had that. I had the third. I cannot believe I'm forgetting the name of this card. Not Athenian Threats. Maybe it was Athenian Threats. I think it's Veiled Passing. Oh, it's been so long. I had all the counter cards. I had 3 copies of Rescue. It's only 1 copy of Rescue now, but I can see myself putting Disperse in there just to be even trollier. That deck was I should go over that deck. That deck it was not that it was good. It was just fascinating. At least I thought it was fascinating. So yeah, whatever. I spent enough time talking about Disperse. And then we've got 3 copies of Heroic Confrontation. So this is a level 4 action. It's a fighter action. Perform a melee strike that inflicts an additional wound against higher level characters. This with Belasco, if he's got advantage from that sword, I mean, you could shank something with that. In addition, because this is level 4, the Blitzer can play it. And oh man, the Blitzer punching, like one-shotting a Warlord, that's freaking, yeah, it's beautiful if you can get that to happen. I have never played this deck, and I don't think I have the Hero Confrontations in any other deck, but I'm looking forward to trying that. It's going to be a nasty surprise for somebody right there. Like freaking Karak Stonebender, you know, he's at the front or something like that, and I gore him with the freaking with the reindeer. It's going to be great. And then a couple just other random things here. We've got 3 copies of Arcane Approach. I think this actually was originally Windwalk or Walk on Wind, whichever one is in this set. If this character is a wizard, your target character moves forward 1 rank. If this character is a fighter, perform +3 melee strike. The reason this was the wind walking or walk on wind spell, whichever one it was. Actually, is it here? It is here. Walk on wind. Yeah. The reason this was originally walk on wind is I could totally see myself being in a scenario where the second part of this, if this character is a fighter, perform +3 melee strike, that is not optional. So if just very randomly speaking, Belasco is trying to blitz something up to the front, like he really wants, Ged Bane up front, and he himself is not in rank 1, your Arcane Approach strike has to punch one of your guys if there's not someone close enough. So I don't think it's going to be too big of an issue in here. In addition, the Storm Wraiths themselves can play this, and it's a strike from a spell, so it will ignore opposing planar traits. So I just think this is pretty interesting. Again, it is decision time, where, again, if Belasco is the one playing this and he's not close enough, one of your guys may be taking one for the team. Luckily, Dresden's got 2 points. Although my Dresdens in this deck are probably going to go to the front anyway. But you punch the Kingslayer. He's not going to care. You're probably not even going to hit him. But and then rounding it out, we've got 3 copies of Shadow Bolts and 3 copies of Essence Drain. So Shadow Bolts is a kind of a classic card. I am very, very... This is super random. I'm really glad they reprinted this as a common, because this used to be an uncommon. I don't know how many of these I gave away in demo decks to people. I had almost none of these by the time I was done. I think I had like a set of 2 sets of 3 for myself. It's Wizard or Rogue, or Wizard and Rogue. It's Necrotic. Spend order, perform +4 range strike. If this character is a Rogue, doesn't matter. If this character is a Wizard, perform another +4 range strike. So potentially 2 +4s. This gives characters like the Tamar something to do, because he's going to be moving to rank 2 pretty much immediately, and then after that, he might just be sitting there. So him throwing around Shadow Bolts might be kind of interesting. I guess, Actually, I guess it's him and Belasco are the only. Actually, I think the dragon's a wizard, but yeah, we could do that. So that's pretty cool. It's just shots. And again, you could also get into a scenario where they're warlord, and I've had this happen to me where you're playing a cleric and you're playing sacrifice, and it's not that you have a way to get the runes off of yourself. You're just soaking them up for your other characters. Like you're playing Tavis, and like I don't want my bloodworm to die, so I'll just sacrifice it to me. It's fine. If they happen to be in rank 2, you can randomly Velasco can shuffle up to rank 1 and then shoot them twice, which might kill them, so that's pretty interesting. And then Essence Drain. This is another spell out of the new set. It's necrotic. It has the order. Target character within 2 ranks must succeed with the Fortitude save, DC 15, or suffer a -1 level and -1 hit point this turn. So again, there's actually a lot going on with this. One, obviously, if this gives them -1 hit point and it puts them to 0, it kills them. So that's pretty interesting. The other is... giving them -1 level would, again, potentially put them in range for Gedbane to start giving them a penalty, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, it's within 2 ranks. The DCs, a lot of Warlords have a fairly good shot at making that. The Fighters, I think, have around a +6. The Wizards, Belasco's got +8, so he probably makes that. But if they fail, that can be depressing. One of the low-key things that's really, really interesting, and a lot of people... I can't really speak for the competitive circles because that's not my battlefield. That's not my scene. But like a long time ago, I was trying to make him. I think you pronounce his name Andil Smurdy. I don't know how you say his name, but he is one of the most oddly designed warlords in the game. Like his ability or his trait, I guess, to give them -1 level for each wound on them is so weird. It's such a weird ability. On one hand, it does let you kill like the Brine Fiends. You just hit them once and they die because they're now level 0, so that's pretty awesome. But low-key, I think it's when Felons, I think it's Felons Rowan, the multi-faction elf freak who can shoot things when Shinners play. The troll factor that I had. Okay, so I play Andil, and I would drop Felons. Felons would move to the back and shoot, and if you hit, which was very, very questionable because I think it was only a +2, but like so many decks are not ready to start 1 level lower than what they expect. And I know that's probably like a no shit, but like a lot of decks, like say you play level 5 actions, if you're Warlord, if my first action is 1, I'm wounding you, you probably don't care too much because you've usually got extra hit points. But now you're level 4 and you can't play any of your level 5 actions. That's a kick in the cock right there, okay? Like that freaking sucks when that happens. So, Essence Drain just randomly, even if this doesn't kill them, giving them -1 level and preventing them from playing Epic Donnybrook. Say it's another fighter, and you're like, your first thing is like Essence Drain, and they're like, oh. And they have a bunch of level 5 actions. Or, say Belasco himself gets hit by this. He can't play Epic Confrontation anymore. So, I just think that's pretty interesting. Is this good? I don't know. This almost looks better in a deck that's designed to just do level things to you. This one, it's just, I think it's kind of interesting, so we're going to give it a try. That is, for the moment, that is the current build that I have not played, and it's probably going to be another month for our next gaming session, but I'm excited. I'm excited to give all these a run. Unfortunately, I was kind of... The last session, there were far fewer people showed up, and I was mostly playing Ephraim because I'm still trying to gather data on him, because I'm really trying to analyze what is working with him and what is not. Surprise, what I'm doing with him is working really, really well, but whatever. Some of the cards that I kind of want to look at, Cloak of Brilliance and Well of Screams. I actually really, really like the idea of both of these. I like getting Charisma. Charisma in the new changes to Charisma, I think it's amazing. +3 armor class. Also pretty good. I think the movement on the Journeying Cloak, what is it called? Cloak of Fly Me Around. Cloak of Flight. The journeying ability might be better. I do like the Cloak of Brilliance and Will of Screams. I mean, I have seen this because someone else was playing Belasco and he had this in his. It's level 7. Twice per turn before a character is killed, you banish the target instead and add a charge counter to the Well of Screams. Then you can spend it, remove charges, cast spells from your discard pile. This looks really good. What I do not want to have happen is, again, and this is mostly my fault, it's because I'm going to send mine in the front. You saw the item base. It's built around him being on the front and hopefully not dying. I cannot risk playing this because if I don't draw it in my opening hand, same thing with the Cloak of Brilliance, I might be stuck with it and I don't have any way of tossing cards in this deck. So if I played this... if I play this, probably reality check. I probably should not be sending him to the front. I know I'm doing that with my Ephraim. He has no business being there. It's such a blast to do it, so I'm probably gonna do it with him too. I can see both of these being included instead, just because. I mean, oh man, Well of Screams getting back some movement with that. And the fact that you don't have to be the one to kill them is, oh man, it's so cool. Another one would be Havadion Stance. Now, this, once you get the Eager Blade on, you know, a +3 with advantage is probably reasonably destructive enough. I just, in this deck, again, I'd much rather add extra Buntor's Helms, try to shore up the hit points on the Storm Wraiths. So, and then again, I mentioned Walk on Wind. Potentially interesting for even more movement. Again, if Belasco was not going to the front, this would probably be in here, but alas. Alas. And then the final card, a very cool card out of the Into the Accordlands with very, very cool Lynn Hunter artwork, a Starbinder. So this deck, I am moving enough stuff around multiple times that I can really, really see this having some advantage in this deck. Potentially, I could see. I don't want to drop the Tamars because they historically speaking, I can't say in this set because I don't think I've actually played devs in this set. I have the Tancred starter, but I don't think I've played it yet. Historically speaking, Tamar is just done too good at keeping me alive. You know, +2 armor class and +2 skill, and they all stack together is great. I can see if the Dresdens get draw. If the Dresdens end up being over the top, the Starbinders are almost certainly what's going to take its place because giving you a 3 attack or armor class is pretty awesome. This would also be something that the Isadran Kennel Masters can actually use to buff their stats. Yeah, +3 armor class, putting up to AC 13, that would help a little bit. 3 +3s would be freaking great right there, so that's probably what it's going to be. I can really see some interesting things happening if you get multiple Starbinders out, so yeah, it is interesting. I think I mentioned this, I think it was in the last video, or maybe it was the one before that, I don't know. And again, this probably sounds like Zach, no shit, like no-brainer take here. This set so far, it really feels like it's very, very heavy emphasis on move your guys forward, move your punchy things forward. Again, I don't know if that's true or not, because again, it could be at the higher levels of play. They're like, yeah, nobody does that, Zach. And I'm like, yeah, well, you know, that's fine. But most of the deck, and you've seen most of the decks that I've come up with, there's a theme that all of them have. It's like it's play guys and move them forward. Again, I don't know. Belasco himself, all he does really is move people forward. So, and shank people with advantage in True Strike. It's going to be glorious. So I'm waffling at this point. Guys, thank you so much for checking this out. God bless you, and I'll catch you in the next video.